Many of you have been sending me a video that was recently posted by Andrea Perrin. And if you don't know who Andrea Perrin is, she's pretty much the family. She's part of the family that was involved in the original Conjuring House, which kickstarted this whole franchise. And Andrea made a video uh, pleading for me to step in to reconsider getting involved in the Conjuring House because her, as well as many others, have expressed a serious concern on what's going to happen to that property if it's picked up by the wrong individuals. And I understand. I have to say I not just understand, but I totally agree. It's a concern because I've seen happen in the past with some of these properties is heartbreaking because just being priced out of the market and everything else. So, that being said, I've said many times that I had no interest in buying the Conjuring House, and I still 100% feel that way. But you all are right. The house is going up for auction. And if someone doesn't step in, it's most likely going to fall into the hands of people who think it's just a money making machine. And that's not what this place is about. It's not what it ever should have been about. Because the Conjuring House has brought together investigators from all different walks of life, from believers, non believers, skeptics, debunkers, and it's brought them all together in one place. And it's also been a place where so many of us have connected and so many of us have learned from one another. So, and I think that's important. That needs to continue.
The second I finish recording and editing and uploading this video onto YouTube, I got news that someone swooped in and bought the Conjuring House out from underneath everyone who was interested in it. And now the auction is canceled. Jason Hawes took down his GoFundMe, and now my video is void, and I have to kind of start all over again. Now, we don't know who bought it. And I suspect that no matter who it is who bought it, they're probably going to be public enemy number one. Would it surprise me if Jacqueline kind of was petty and was like, F you, Jason Hawes, you ain't getting the house, and resorted to desperate measures to get it back? I wouldn't put it past her. I don't think anyone would put it past her. But some people are speculating that maybe Zach Bagans bought it, or Sam and Colby got it, or that Matt and Elton got it. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Now, if you are new to the situation, long story short, it's been over a year that the Conjuring House has been dealing with some issues. First, it was Jacqueline not doing her due diligence, running the property properly, and having mental breakdowns, which left us with now the Conjuring House is being auctioned off because she owes $1.2 million to the bank. And so, with that being said, so the Conjuring House has been popular due to the films, of course. And he doesn't want to see it get into the hands of the wrong people, okay? We see, and I'm not taking jabs at anybody in particular. I'm just stating things that I've noticed, but you have certain places and locations with known paranormal activity that are expensive to go there overnight and conduct investigations. Whether that be to maintain the property or just because some people might be a little money hungry. Let's not lie, okay? Because it does happen. So Jason doesn't want that to happen. He wants to preserve the history of the Conjuring House in the property. He wants to make sure that it ends up in the right hands. So he started a GoFundMe with the goal of $1.5 million. I believe it is $1.2 million that is owed to the bank. So Jason Hawes's idea of the GoFundMe to help conjure up funds, pun absolutely intended, to help kind of keep the out of pocket costs low, That way, if he did get it, he would be able to charge less for investigations. While that plan was a great idea and probably would have worked, I guess it doesn't matter now, does it? Because someone swooped in and bought it. So now we don't know what's going to happen. And because someone swooped in and bought the Conjuring House, who knows what the pricing situation's going to be, if there even is one. I mean, they just spent a lot of money out of pocket, allegedly, because we don't know technically who did it and how they got the funds or where they got the funds. But there's a lot of out of pocket money coming out, and that needs to be balanced out by getting that money in return, or getting that money back in some way, whether that is hiking up the prices for investigations or whatever. So it doesn't even matter now. I'm kind of curious to see what happens going forward. And I'm curious to know who bought it, because if it was $1.2 million for just the bank portion, that person is probably loaded. So it's not going to be your typical YouTube creator. It's not going to be your typical person either. So someone with a following or some type of notoriety had to have bought it, unless it was Jackie herself being petty and somehow got that money. We don't know. We don't know. So now I think it just has a lot of people nervous, only because there were some positives that came out of the Conjuring House and benefits. As stated in Jason's video, the Conjuring House was used to foster positive connections between other paranormal creators, and not even just paranormal creators, but even skeptics and psychics and just people all around the board. It just, I don't know, it was just a great place to meet other people of similar interests and to form a really good network. But the issue is, again, that can be taken away if it gets into the wrong hands. Because there are people in the YouTube paranormal community with hundreds of thousands and even millions of subscribers that will either get the house and charge up the yin yang and take advantage and use that property as a cash cow, or you have somebody that will buy the property and just use it for endless content and not open it up to anybody. And then you also run the risk of whoever gets it is just going to, well, obviously use it for content, but like have fake paranormal activity, which then destroys the reputation of the house and its history. And we do not want that, because I saw a few names of people that are interested, and some of them are fakers. And it's partially why I don't do as many reactions as I used to, is because while some of the channels do fake their paranormal activity and content, it hurts the real paranormal stuff that's going on in their video, and they just don't see it because they don't have the mind's eye to pick it up. So it also hurts my credibility. Like I said, even if there's paranormal stuff going on in the video that I can see, but what the viewers are going to see is the fakery, and then that's just going to, in their minds, discredit me, even though, you know. So we don't need any fakers taking this house. It's just going to ruin the community even further, put a bad name on it, and it's already a good portion of the paranormal community is already negative. There's a lot of toxic people. A lot of people are gatekeepers in this community. One, what we really should be doing is networking with one another and working with one another so we can showcase the evidence and activity that we all get, right? Because the whole point is to shed light on the paranormal and make it become more normal and standard to the rest of society. Because when you do all this toxic shit, other people are not going to want to be a part of it. Second, people are going to be less inclined to want to believe in it. So I would think if we're all here to find the truth, that you would want to have help and get that truth out there to as many people as possible. That's just my opinion. That's why, like, I always joke and say, hey, if anyone wants to do a collab, and part of the reaction videos is to showcase what I can do, so maybe people would be willing to work with me. And it's like, I'm down for anything. Experiments, if you want to test my credibility and put me under experiments, fuck yeah, let's do it. Like, that's in the works already with my group at some point. Don't have a date on that, but like, if you want to do some psychic research and you need a guinea pig, hello, I'll do it. I'll do it for free. Like, I don't need to be paid. Like, because I want answers too. I'm doing my own research. I'm writing my own book on quantum physics and how quantum physics can be used to answer some of these questions about psychic abilities and paranormal phenomena. So, the whole point is to get the truth and spread it to as many people as possible to make this more normal than abnormal. At least, like I said, that's my opinion. So, side note, if anyone is interested and you're near Pennsylvania, New York, Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, and you need a psychic, hi, you can contact me through my website or Instagram DMs or whatever. I don't care how you contact me. I'm as open as you can possibly get. So yeah. So just keep that in mind. And I think it's very important that this house gets into the right hands, because if we're going to also talk about psychic research, hello, that's a perfect place to do that. We know it's haunted. We know there's a lot of stuff going on. Put some psychics in there and do some experiments. Again, I'll volunteer as tribute. But for all seriousness, you can conduct a lot of research and experiments there, and it would be a good opportunity to do that. Now, there's another important note that I do want to talk about. So while it's going to be difficult, and this is if Jason Hawes doesn't get a hold of this house, it will be difficult to find a decent person to pretty much own, operate, run that house. It's not impossible, but it's going to be difficult. And if you do get a decent person in there, here's the thing you got to keep in mind. When you have haunted locations, especially ones that are very negative or low in vibration, you run the risk of your own vibration becoming low and negative, because you're sitting in that energy, and your energy can become overrun or influenced to become low. And if someone does get that property, and even if it's not a decent person, okay, anybody, it's going to be important that you take as many breaks as you need to get yourself away from that location. Cleanse yourself frequently, not even just with incense, but with Reiki. Make sure you have the proper boundaries and protections set in place. And make sure that when you do leave this location, if you're not thinking of like living there, that you cleanse yourself before you enter your main living space and your car, period. Because that shit will follow you. It will follow you. Also, before I conclude this video, so I took a nap before recording this video. And the nap was because I was just feeling tired. I've been feeling like I'm getting sick and coming down with like a cold or something. I don't know. But so I decided that I wanted to take a nap. However, that nap turned into many astral experiences, and I found myself in the Conjuring House. Of course, that wasn't even an intention set. Like, I just wanted to go to sleep to get some energy to film this video, but it had the opposite effect. And yeah, so when I had this experience, I was brought to that house, and it seemed like there was a female earthbound spirit kind of leading everybody in this situation, at least. She's like the ringleader, but there was also a male involved. And so I went into this room that I think was a bedroom, and I was feeling extremely exhausted. Even on the astral realm, it's like dream inception, right? And so I lay myself on that bed to try to like focus and relax and recoup my strength. And that woman that led me into that room jumped me with a male earthbound spirit, and they were just zapping the crap out of me. And so it took about an hour or two just to fight that off. And it was just me, because I'm on the bed and all I see are these two earthies, and they're very low in vibration, and they're very smoky in appearance, and it's like that's holding me down on the bed, and I can't breathe. I'm trying to escape. I feel like I'm convulsing because I couldn't breathe, and I could hear myself screaming for help from my guides, and nobody was coming because there was this dome around me of solid black energy. And every time I would get through, I would see some light, but then it would just get covered by that dark energy, and it was just a battle. And I know that there have been people that I've investigated that hadn't had any issues, but even though there might not be any demonic entities there, there's still negative earthbound spirits there. And that's just well, to me it's a fact, but that's just a warning to anyone who goes there or tries to buy it or run it or whatever. Like, there are things there, despite some of the fakery of past YouTubers that have gone there and put out content. Again, not naming any names, but you guys know who I'm talking about. So, yeah, there are things there that are not positive, but I remember the male specifically, he would get on top, and it was like, I don't know, his energy was so suffocating. But eventually I did break through and just went, and that energy went doop, kind of parted that shit like the sea. Anyway, yeah. So it was weird because even though when I escaped, those two kept trying to like do the same thing, but in other places in that house. So that was my astral attack of the Conjuring House. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I don't want certain YouTubers to get a hold of it, because I know, again, not putting names out, there's a specific one that I'm thinking of that is a huge faker that people have had me react to them before, and I'm just like, why do you, I didn't say it in any of my videos, but I'm just like, why do you guys A, think this is real, and B, like, why do you like it? But hey, that person's a good YouTuber and good at making content, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I'm just tired of fakers in this community dragging everybody down, giving very reputable people bad names, and ruining their credibility, especially those that have either collabed with them or are friends with them or whatever. It's just, I'm tired of the toxicity. I'm tired of the gatekeeping. Why can't we all just be happy and, I don't know, be nice and not greedy, and, I don't know, fight for the truth and want the best for the community? instead of trying to corrupt it, but just turn it into a cash cow. Because for me, the paranormal isn't about money, it's my fucking life. Like, I have to, and when I say deal with, I'm not saying it in a negative way, but like, it's my life. I see dead people, I see non human things every single day. Like, and I have to cope with it. And even working with other people that might not understand that part of me and have to, I don't know, explain certain things and then them look at me like, oh, you're crazy, or think, or have people think I'm faking. Like, no, this isn't for money. Like, I don't make jack shit doing this work. I barely even make $100 each month on YouTube, maybe $50 a month. And yeah, barely. So yeah, this is my life. This isn't for money or clout. Like, look, I got 7,100 subscribers. I wish I had more. I'm grateful for what I have, but I'm not up there with the millions and millions of subs like some other creators. But it is what it is. I mean, I speak my truth, and some of you guys come in to listen to that truth, and that's great, and I'm grateful for that as well. Honestly, whoever ends up with a Conjuring House, I mean, unless it's somebody that I really, 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 really like, I'm probably not that interested in going there in person. Or unless it's a free ride and I don't have to pay for it. Because this hoe is broke. No, but seriously, I mean, I can remote view anywhere I want. So, I don't know. I lost interest. I get astral attacks when I pop in there astrally. So, meh. Not to mention, like, for the creators that have already been there, made content, I kind of feel like the best analogy is when you hear the same song on the radio a bajillion times, even if at first you liked it, eventually it gets annoying and you just don't want to listen to it anymore. And that's kind of how the Conjuring House is for me now at this point. It's just been overdone. I don't really particularly care unless, again, I could get a free trip up there. That's just me being honest. I'm not gonna pay out of pocket to go up there for the same song and dance, even if some of the content that has been put out in the past, whether it's faked or legit or whatever, I've seen it all. I don't know. I just don't care anymore. So it would be cool to do some psychic experiments. I would totally be down for that. But for investigation purposes, meh. Doesn't really interest me. I want science. I want to do some sciencey things. I mean, that's not saying paranormal investigation isn't science, but like, I want to do more research type stuff in terms of psychic abilities and doing that kind of stuff. Different than what you see right now with all the paranormal investigation videos. I want something different, man, especially in that location. So, again, volunteering as tribute, if you are one of those people that want to do something fucking different, then you might pique my interest. But if it's just the same song and dance over and over again, I don't know. I don't know. So, that is my take or my opinion on the situation of the Conjuring House. Up to date now. And I left parts of my video, the original video, in and kind of just took out the old news and replaced it with new news. But anyway, guys, And then lastly, guys, if you haven't gotten your hands on one of my decks, I highly recommend it. The purple hue of this lighting, it doesn't give this justice. But look at the shinies. Look at the shinies. Okay? Whew. But link is also in the description box below if you are interested in these. Again, 96 cards in this deck, which is 18 more than a standard tarot deck, and probably 3 times the amount of a standard oracle deck. And I got shiny edges. I don't know, I'm a child when it comes to the shine. To the shine. I just released a video of the 96 card showcase, so if you want to see what the cards look like before you buy your own deck, you can watch that video as well. Being the cards. And yeah. And one more thing. I will be holding a Halloween sale, okay, for my deck, and it will probably be one of the biggest sales I have on this deck, is like a launch thing. So make sure if you do want one that you get it then, because that'll probably be one of the cheapest times for this deck, because right now it runs at $55, and that does not include shipping, and it should be available to pretty much every country. Just make sure when you do buy it that you select your region first before you go in and put in your address, because I believe people were having issues with that. I'm not sure. I know someone from Canada was having issues with that. Just make sure you switch the region from whatever the default is set at to your region, which is, Canada, UK, so on and so forth. And just make sure, because I will ship internationally. I used to work for the post office, so I know how to do all the customs labels. So, yay me. Again, too, it is available on TikTok Shop. Now, on there, as long as I do like the little tasks, it lets me put on like little sales. So I think it's $5 off on there right now. However, I don't know how the international shipping is, because I didn't have much control over how that is set, other than picking the carrier. I always use USPS only because I used to work there, so I know everything there is to know about that type of shipping. So, yeah, guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. All links will be down below, so the Oracle deck, Jason Hawes' videos, and the GoFundMe will be down there. And, yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all soon. Peace out.
Monsters play in the dark.